there's one skill that separates agents stuck in mediocrity, the average ones, from the agents that dominate their markets. And it's not lead gen, it's not branding, it's not even marketing. If you can master this one thing, this one skill, you'll close more deals. You'll win more listings. You'll instantly stand out in a sea of average agents, which is the majority of the industry. And the crazy part, most agents never even realize that they're missing this one skill. I'll tell you what it is and how to perfect it right now. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 405 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today, I have a tactical, short and sweet episode that I think is going to be extremely powerful, impactful, and meaningful to you as a real estate agent if growing your business is a goal of yours. If growing your business, scaling your business, increasing your sales, increasing your profitability, making more money as a realtor, if that's important to you, you're in the right place with the right episode. So let's just jump into it, okay? Look, most agents believe that this game is all about tactics, scripts. If you just have the right script, if you run the right ads, doing open houses or doing more open houses or whatever, right? It's all tactics, social media posts. If there's a magical video that goes viral, you're going to get 1 trillion listings from it. While all of that stuff matters, of course, obviously, it's not what separates the agents who stay stuck from the ones who dominate their markets. Okay. The truth is the skill that I'm talking about unlocks everything else. The skill that unlocks everything else isn't tactical at all. It's confidence. So when you have confidence, you show up with confidence, you actually use the scripts, you actually make the phone calls, you actually knock on the doors, you actually hit record on the camera, you actually set up the ads and publish them and put some ad money behind them with confidence. Confidence is the skill that leads to success in every aspect. And I call it a skill because confidence is not something you're born with. You're not just born a confident person. You have to become one. You have to craft yourself into one. And if you grew up without confidence, like I did, I was not a very confident person growing up when I was in junior high and high school and whatnot. I believe you can build it. I believe you can create confidence. You can become a confident person, which leads me to believe it's a skill. It's something that you can develop. So if you feel like, man, I'm struggling with this, or maybe you're thinking, I'm as confident as they come. I guarantee there's another level. I guarantee there's 5 more levels that you don't even know exist. So let's jump into how you actually build that confidence, okay? Because look, your clients can feel it. The viewers of your videos can feel it, or the lack thereof. Confidence is that multiplier. Confidence is the multiplier that makes every other skill that you've learned actually work. Every other tactic that you implement, confidence is what makes it actually work. So let's jump into it. First off, why does confidence matter in the first place? Well, clients are hiring certainty. They're not hiring, you being hesitant, you being like, oh, I think I can do this. I think I can do that. I'm pretty sure about this. They want certainty. Clients will hire you when you are freaking certain. That's what they're hiring. And the most certain agent gets the business. Simple as that. Confidence equals trust, and trust equals more clients. So when you have a lack of confidence, it shows up in your business as hesitation, apologizing, being wishy-washy, deferring too much to a client. Like, well, let's just do what you want to do. Oh, you want to list it 75 grand higher than it's worth? Okay, let's just try that and see what happens. Confidence leads to all the success. So, and we all know agents that have a lack thereof, and usually they're the ones that you've never heard of. Usually they're the ones that are not doing many deals. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad agent. It doesn't even mean that you're a bad business person. It's just you are preventing yourself from the success and the results that you could and should have. You are standing in your own way with the lack of confidence. So I think you can see now, I don't think I even need to convince you that building your confidence, working on that skill of being confident, is one of the most impactful, most important things you could possibly do. So let's talk about tactical ways to build confidence. Okay, so first off, know your numbers. Now, hear me out, and then I'll explain exactly what this means. Okay, know your numbers. Practice scripts until they roll off your tongue. Buyer scripts, seller scripts, and I don't necessarily mean like, hello, my name is Dustin Brohm, and today I don't mean like robotic, ridiculous scripts that you got from your broker who got them 30 years ago. I don't mean those stupid scripts. Who do you know who needs to buy or sell real estate? It's not what I'm talking about. That's just horseshit. But what do you say when you're sitting down with a buyer for the first time? What are the things you say? What do you guide them through? What kind of process do you guide them through? Oh, you don't have one? That's part of the problem because you lack confidence. A lack of confidence filters down into every aspect of your business in a negative way. Extreme confidence also looks like this. We all know someone, maybe in real estate, maybe outside of real estate, but someone in our lives, you look at them and you're like, how the hell are they so successful? How are they doing so well? How are they selling so much? How are they making so much money? How are they living that life? They're a goober. Like I'm so much more intelligent, charismatic, whatever. We all know someone like that who's crushing it, and they're not as competent and capable as you. I bet if you looked at it closer, you'd realize they have a lot more confidence than you. They're just that much more confident, and they just freaking go at it. They just go for it instead of second guessing themselves. So to build confidence, know your numbers. What that means is you practice what you're going to say when you're meeting with buyers, with sellers. Think about objections ahead of time. If you are just dealing with objections when they come, and it's the first time you've ever considered, when someone's like, well, I know you're asking 3% for your listing services, but so-and-so said they do it for 1%. And that's the first time you've ever thought about it. You're going to stumble. You're going to look like an idiot. And I guarantee you're not going to do well handling that objection. So think about it ahead of time. When you are prepared ahead of time, that brings confidence into the situation at that time. When you get asked hey, so-and-so will do it for 1%, won't you? If you've practiced that and ran through it and are prepared, confidence shows up. Confidence kicks in, and then they can feel the confidence in your reaction to their objection. Okay, when I say know your numbers, it's also memorizing local market stats, like the data from the MLS, average days on market, list to sale ratios, the freaking absorption rate. And listen, no one gives a flying crap about the absorption rate. No one gives a shit about the absorption rate. And if a seller asks you what the absorption rate is, what they're really, they probably got it from some blog that said, like, these are the questions to ask your agent or whatever. They don't give a shit. What they want to know is, how fast is my home going to sell? How long is it going to sit on the market before how long is it going to need to be for sale on the market before we actually sell it and accomplish what we want? How long is it going to take to do what I want is what they're really asking. But if you know the absorption rates, if you know the list to sale ratios for certain neighborhoods or styles of homes or zip codes or whatever, if you know the average days on market, you're prepared. When you feel prepared, you show up with confidence, because then you're not worried about, and this is all subconscious, by the way. It's not like you're sitting down at a seller's table like, oh, I hope they don't ask me about the absorption rate. No. It's a subconscious thing. If you know that if they throw some random weird question at you and you're prepared because you've studied the stats and you can actually insert it here or there into a conversation when relevant and natural, of course, not to sound like an asshole, but when you show that, hey, I've studied this, I'm up to date on the data, I know what's happening so I can better guide you, that's certainty. They see certainty and they're like, that's an agent who knows his shit, and I want them to represent me in selling my house. So study. And if you're brand new, if you're a new agent and you're just trying to get established, confidence is hard because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, right? It takes a while to know what the hell you're doing. So something that I did is I nerded out over those stats. I learned absorption rates. I learned average days on market for different zip codes and neighborhoods and styles of homes and all of that. And I don't think I ever got asked what the absorption rate was, but I was prepared to answer it. I freaking knew. So in conversations, I was dramatically more confident. So know your numbers, study the data. When you can drop numbers in conversations, naturally, of course, not just to sound, oh, I'm a realtor, let me throw some big numbers at you. Don't do that. That hurts your credibility. But when you can drop those numbers into a conversation where it applies, you sound more credible. You sound more knowledgeable and more certain. That'll help you. Number 2. So the first way to tactically build confidence is know your numbers. Number 2, stack some small wins. You may have this big goal of hitting $100,000 a year or $500,000 a year or selling 50 homes, selling 120 homes, whatever. And that's your big thing. What about just selling a house this month? What about getting 2 deals under contract in the next 2 weeks? Start stacking small wins. And I believe that it starts even smaller than that. Daily small wins. You start stacking small wins on a daily basis. Make the phone call. Make that freaking cold call or that phone call. Send the DM. Record that video and post it. If your goal is, I'm going to record 1 piece of content today and post it, and I'm going to do 3 stories throughout the day and post them, and then you do it. Look, to oversimplify confidence, the way you build confidence is by doing what you tell yourself you're going to do. It's by keeping the promises that you make to yourself. So this is not just about business. This is about in your life. If you say, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go lift weights 4 times this week, and you go twice, that hurts your confidence because you've lied to yourself. You have not lived up to the expectations that you have for yourself. So stacking the small wins is, posting the video, attending a networking event, going to the gym, tracking your food, getting on a diet and tracking your food meticulously throughout the day, drinking a half gallon to a gallon of water, cold plunging, jumping in the sauna for 30 minutes, whatever those things are, like stack those things. Do hard shit. You want to build confidence? Do some hard shit. I was going to mention this later on in the episode, but one of the biggest leaps forward, one of the biggest spikes, or one of the biggest jumps forward that I ever had in my life in confidence was when I did 75 hard and completed it the first try. My wife and I did 75 hard together back in mid to late 2020, and it changed our entire lives because we committed to doing something hard. There was some tedious stuff about it, like taking a daily progress photo. That's very easy to not do because it's like, oh, it's just a progress photo, right? No, we committed to do these things, and we did them every freaking day for 75 days. We worked out twice a day. One of them had to be outside, regardless of the fucking weather. Oh, by the way. So yeah, there were times when it was raining or even snowing, and we went out and exercised outside for half an hour because we promised ourselves we would. And so, yes, I believe 75 hard is a mental Ironman. Obviously, there's physical benefits that come from it, but the mental benefits that came from it were wild. So doing 75 hard and actually seeing it through to the end and doing it our first try was a huge confidence boost. That's kind of a bigger win, but we were stacking those small wins every single day. Take the progress photo, stick to a diet, drink a gallon of water, exercise twice. One of them needs to be outdoors. I'm forgetting a couple other things, but those little things every single day, those small wins compounded, and it's like, got another day. And we went on the 75 hard app, checked them off, boom, day complete, another small win. On to the next day, do them again, another small win. Those same things apply in your business. Confidence grows by doing the thing that you're scared of doing. Confidence grows by doing the things you're scared of in small doses. Think about that one. I think you should track your wins in like a confidence journal, some sort of proof that you're progressing, a power list, even if it's like a daily journal where you're just like, here's my 3 things that I need to do. And then you freaking do them and you check it off and you physically see it and you feel it. That's how you stack those small wins. And pretty soon over time, you start to become more confident. And also do hard shit, like go to the gym, exercise. We got my kids in jujitsu. They've been doing jujitsu for 8 or 9 months now. And we did it obviously for the self-defense aspect of it. We want them to be able to defend themselves and defend others in situations if that's necessary. But we did it for the confidence because they're getting into situations where they're in confrontation the entire time. And if they become comfortable in confrontation, now they're just more confident in all other aspects of life. Because it's like, well, this is nothing. because I was just having someone trying to rip my arm off and choke me out. This is nothing. Like, I can deal with this math test, I can deal with not like, oh shit, the teacher just singled me out because I did something wrong. Whatever. I would be embarrassed before, but at least no one's trying to choke me out. You know what I mean? Like, just do hard things. Go on a hike, go on a run, do it every day. And each day you keep doing hard shit, it stacks the small wins quickly. Number 3 way to tactically build confidence: role play and rehearse. This kind of goes along with number 1, which is, practice your scripts and everything, but find a practice partner or even Chat GPT and run objections, go through conversations, go through scenarios until you're absolutely bored and you could do it in your sleep. The hack here is use Chat GPT's voice mode and say, we're going to do a role play. You're going to play the role of the seller. You're going to object to what I say with commonly held objections that home sellers have. And then your job is to react and then ask it to grade you and critique you and help you make it better afterwards. And so you can just have a literal conversation through Chat GPT's app with the voice mode, where you can practice overcoming objections when there's no pressure. So you do that once, twice, 3 times a week. Then you do that again the next week and again the next week. And pretty soon a buyer has some objection about whatever. And you're like, I got it. And you show up with confidence and you're concise and they feel the certainty and they end up trusting you because you're trustable when you're confident and certain. Confidence comes from the preparation. Okay. It's not just a personality trait that you're either born with or that you lucked into. No, you have to build confidence. And confident people, when in certain situations, they lose their confidence. You ever seen some professional athletes, they lose their groove? They kind of like fall from grace a little bit. It's because they lose their confidence. Maybe they get injured or they lose and it hurts their confidence, and then it starts to it starts to snowball in the wrong direction. Well, confidence growth can happen the same way, just in the right direction. You just have to get the snowball rolling down the hill. Number 4, adopt a pregame ritual. Okay, this might sound a little goofy, but athletes before a game, like LeBron James claps with his cloud of what is it? The chalk stuff that LeBron James puts on his hands. He does that every time. Music, affirmations, breathing exercises, a cold plunge, quickly reviewing your notes, watching like a 3-minute like inspirational video on YouTube or something, or like a scene from Braveheart, whatever it is. If you can develop a pregame ritual, so to speak. So right before you go into a listing presentation, right before you go talk on stage at that event, right before you sit down with a buyer for the first time, you get yourself into a state where your energy is elevated, your confidence is elevated, and you're freaking on it. That's going to help. It'll help you walk into every listing appointment, every buyer presentation, any interaction actually, with your energy already elevated. Instead of having to need to elevate it once you get in there, which is difficult, show up with it, and then your clients or your potential clients can feel that shit. Number 5, borrow authority until you have your own. So here's what I mean by that. If you're a brand new agent, you cannot be out there saying, hey, I'm a top producer, because you haven't produced shit, not yet. So if you're new, lean on your brokerages or your team's track record. Lean on them. There's a big team here in Utah, the Perry Group. They have between 200 and 300 agents now. I think they're creeping on 300 agents. By far, the number 1 team in Utah. They're selling, 1,200 plus homes a year, something like that. I respect the shit out of what they do and how they do it with the culture that they have. If you're a member of the Perry Group, you can lean on, hey, we're the number 1 producing team in Utah. So that gives you, as the agent on the team, a ton of credibility because you're with the team. If you're part of a team, this becomes easy, where then it's not just about, hey, I only got into real estate a year and a half ago. I've only sold 6 homes. You may not feel confident about that, but hey, we as a team, or we as a brokerage, sell 10 homes a month. We sell 100 plus homes a year. We do 500 million in production, or whatever that is. Borrow that authority and that credibility until you own it yourself. But make sure that it's legit. Don't make it up. Don't blow smoke up someone's ass because they can see through that. Don't call yourself a top producer if you're not a top producer is one of the most ridiculous things. And consumers can see through that shit because they notice. They're like, how come every realtor I see on Instagram is a top producer? That doesn't make sense that everyone's a top producer. So again, borrow your team's credibility. Our team has helped over 300 families buy and sell locally this year, whatever. So eventually you'll have your own track record. You'll have your own authority. But in the meantime, use what you've got. Number 6, reframe rejection. Confidence dips. Okay? Your confidence takes a hit when you take no's personally. If every no you get, if every rejection you get, you take personally, it chips away at your confidence. It's like, oh shit, like, oh, that no that I just got means that I mean less, or I'm not that good. I'm not wanted. Reframe it. So every no gets you closer to a yes. It takes a certain amount of no's to get to a yes. And so every time you get a no, there's an incredible book. I wish I had it around me to grab. You should all go get this. It's on the Massive Agent Amazon book list, but it's called Go for No. Just go to Amazon and search Go for No. It's short, but the concept behind it is when you can reframe every rejection and every no, you become almost excited that you got it because it means that it's every no gets you that much closer to a yes. And when you figure out, okay, I need 10 no's before I get someone to say yes, then you're like, oh, cool. Now I only need 6 more. You get another no. Sweet. I only need 5 more. And now you don't take it personally. You're just like, this is part of the process. Not everyone's going to hire you. I don't care how good you are. No agent ever gets 100%. No agent ever bats 1,000. It's not possible because the consumers, the clients, don't always need us at that time. They're not ready for it, or we just don't jive with them or whatever, and they want to hire somebody else. So just because somebody didn't hire you doesn't mean that you suck. But if you feel that it does, that's going to hurt your confidence. So you have to reframe no's. You have to reframe the objections. And it also helps when you get those rejections or when you don't get hired. What can you learn from it? What can you do better? And then you start to see those rejections of those losses, which they're not, but those no's, you start to see them as lessons, as learning opportunities, as a step forward to getting better because you're learning from them instead of, oh, each one takes a little more wind out of your sails. Oh, each one's a punch to the gut. Number 7, invest in yourself. Education equals confidence. Take a course, get a coach, join masterminds, go to events. When you educate yourself and you feel well educated, that leads to greater confidence. The more you learn, the less you fear being caught off guard with something that like, oh, I don't know the answer to that, or I don't know how to handle this. I haven't thought about that before. The more you learn, the more prepared you feel, and the less you'll fear being caught off guard. And number 8, focus on serving, not selling. Confidence skyrockets when the spotlight is not on you all the time, but on the client. It's on helping the client. So ask better questions. Ask so many more questions. You should be speaking less than them. You should be speaking less than the person you want to hire you. Ask better questions, listen more, deliver value first. Put out great content on social where you give all your best stuff. If you focus on serving and not necessarily on how it benefits you, you start to get the things that you want. It's wild how that works. So some quick action steps before we wrap this up. Pick one area this week where you lack confidence. Just one this week. One area where you lack confidence. Maybe it's around the conversations you have with buyers. Maybe it's listing presentations. Maybe it's videos you do on social, whatever that is. Where do you lack confidence? And then commit to doing 10 reps this week over and over and over to get better at it. So if that's you suck at video, record 10 videos. You don't have to post them all. Just record 10 videos to get more comfortable in front of the camera, to get more comfortable speaking into that lens. It's weird at first. You have to look into this camera lens as you speak. And it's weird because like all this shit's happening around you, but you're locked in talking into this aperture. And it's a little weird until you practice, and then it's totally normal. Then when the camera's on, you just look into it and speak like you're talking to somebody face to face. It's not even an issue. It takes practice. So commit to 10 reps this week to get better at the thing that you lack confidence in. And then develop a system or a plan. Just open up a note in your phone, grab a notebook if you want to do it the old school way, and start tracking those small wins. Track the small wins and review them at the end of the week. Because when you can look back and be like, holy shit, I did all this week, you feel a little better about yourself. Like, you feel accomplished. And guess what that leads to? That leads to increased confidence. So, confidence isn't magic. It's not something you're born with. It's built. It's a skill that you build through action, through practice, through repetition. And the faster you take imperfect action, the faster your confidence will grow and follow. I hope this episode was helpful. Before we wrap it up, have you guys checked out BAMX, what they're doing lately? I think BAMX has some of the coolest content. I'm a member of BAMX personally, and yes, they're a sponsor of the show because I think they are, or this probably sounds douchey, but I allowed them, I agreed for them to be a sponsor of the show and to be a partner of our show because the shit that they put out to their community every single week, the done for you content that they send out is some of the best. I get their emails, and within their school community, like I get their stuff and each week with new emails, new social media graphics, social media posts, and all this stuff that you can just copy and paste and make your own. And some of it I'm like, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to use that Canva template over here for this thing. And I use BAMX personally. I think you should too. So BAMX, imagine having the copy for every marketing email, every script, every hook, every social media post delivered to your inbox every week. Go over to massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX, and they have a video where it visually walks you through everything that's included as a member of BAMX. I highly recommend you go check that out. You can join on a monthly basis. You can join on an annual basis, whatever your budget will allow. I can't speak highly enough about BAMX. massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX. And then with Keeping Current Matters, be the advisor that your clients trust with KCM. Keeping Current Matters gives you easy to understand market insights, ready to share graphics, and scripts to keep you looking like a pro. Try KCM for free right now over at trykcm.com/BAM. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with a friend, a team leader, another agent partner of yours. Share it in a real estate Facebook group community. Put it in your story. Tag me. I appreciate you helping me and this podcast and this message to reach new agents. This industry needs it now more than ever. I didn't even really talk about the big Compass and Anywhere merger that's happening, or the Compass's acquisition of the Anywhere brands, Better Homes and Gardens, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, and others. I will probably dive into that next week, but that's going to be great for some agents and that's going to be terrible for others. It creates the biggest real estate company on the planet for sure. And if you like everything that they stand for, if you like everything that you get, if you think that what they charge you for all of that is fair and good, then fantastic. But if you feel like you're being forced into an ecosystem, forced into a brand or a culture that you're not necessarily stoked with, you're not trapped. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all plays out. But very big news in the industry. I'll probably talk about that a little more next week, and definitely on social. So follow me at Massive Agent on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere at Massive Agent. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.